Hello, my friends. Welcome to our blending lesson today. So this week we are working in Unit 4. So this is week 4. And we are learning about the long I sound and the different spellings for long I. So this week, we know that I blanky says that long I sound. It says its name. It says I. This week we are learning 4 new spellings that will say that long I sound. If you see it in a word, you see it in a book. Even some of the high frequency words. So we are learning the I by itself, Y that can now say the I sound, IGH that can now say the Y sound, and IE that can also say the I sound. All right, so before we get started, let's practice our high frequency words. So as always, make sure you're focused and paying attention. Definitely helps you with those skills. All right, food, start, animal, 8, give, hour, carry, about, or, other, small, blue, more, find, because, into, warm, over, no, found, hard, flew, would, laugh, caught, near, were, right, woman, listen. Wonderful. Thanks so much. All right, let's get started. We'll put this over here. All right, first word. Find. Your turn. I, and. Find. Find. So this word find is an example of I by itself saying that long I sound. F says, and I by itself can now say that long I sound. And then we have that ending blend, da, eind, find. All right, next word. Sky, your turn. Ska, I, sky, sky. So this word sky is an example of the Y, say the Y spelling of the long I sound. So beginning blend, ska, ska. And then Y says, Y is now going to say I, ska, I. So if you were to try this with the normal Y sound, which we know is ya, if you were to try to say ska ya, if you were to try to put it together with those 3 sounds, it wouldn't necessarily sound right. So, of course, you have to know that you can just flip it in your head. All right, next word. High. Your turn. Ha. I. High. So this word high is an example of IGH, saying that long I sound. So let's blend. Ha. I. High. So this is like you are high in the sky. Yesterday we did hi just like, hi, how's it going? And they sound the same, but we know they have different meanings. So if you were to say this with each of those sounds separately, it would not sound correct. Ha, igaha, higaha. No, I don't think that sounds right. It doesn't really match the picture. Oh yeah, IGH can also say I. Let me try it with that sound. Ha, I, hi. Next word. Cry. Your turn. Cur. I. Cry. So maybe you've already seen this word cry so many times that you don't have to sound it out. But when you say it, the sound that you hear at the end, whether you realize it or not, is the long I sound. So C-R, cur. And it's an example of Y saying that long I sound. Cur. I. Cry. All right, let's read our first line. Find, sky, high, cry. Your turn. Lovely. All right, next word. Sigh, like, it's a heavy sigh. Your turn. I, sigh, sigh. So this word sigh is another example of the IGH, saying that long I sound. S says And I-G-H says I. I, sigh, sigh. So I'll go ahead and underline these. Because all three of those letters are working together to make the long I sound. So if all three of those are together, they won't say they're separate sounds. It won't be igaha. It won't be igaha. It just won't. It's always going to be I-G-H saying I. Next word. Night. Your turn. I-ta. Night. So this word night is an example of the I-G-H also saying the long I sound. And says, I-G-H, long I sound, right? And he says ta, I, t, night. So again, you may have seen these words so many times you don't have to sound them out. So when you say those words, though, those are the sounds that you hear. All right, next word. Kind. Your turn. Ka. I. Nd. Kind. Kind. So notice that when I say kind, it rhymes with the word find. Words that rhyme, they sound the same at the end, and most times they are spelled the same. So that might tell you how the long I is spelled. K says ka. I, by itself, can say the I sound. And D, da, ka, I, kind, kind. Next word, tie. Your turn. Ta, I, tie. Like you're going to tie your shoes. This word tie is an example of the I-E saying that long I sound. So that I-E, they work together, vowel team, working together to say that long I sound. Ta, I, tie. All right, let's read our second line. Sigh, night, kind, tie. Your turn. Wonderful. All right, next word. Toe. Your turn. Ta. Oh. Toe. So the word toe is from last week and our boat card. So this word toe is going to spelled with blank O-E. So like I said last week, if there is a blank before the O-E, first of all, the O-E is not going to say ah-eh. And if there's a blank before it, if there's any other letter before it, then that kind of gives you a signal that the O-E is going to say that sound. And like I said last week, there will never be a word that says O-E at the beginning. It may come in the middle, or it may come at the end. It will never, ever come at the beginning. Just like in the word toe that we're going to do, the O comes at the end. He says ta. O-E. Vowel team working together to say long O. Ta, O, toe. Green. Your turn. Gur. E. Green. So this word green is an example of the tree card. The tree card, the long E that we learned a couple weeks ago. So when you say tree, you hear the same sound as when you say green. And again, the word green, you've probably seen so many times you don't have to sound it out. But when you say the word green, that's the sound you hear in the middle. Gur, ga, and E. Vowel team working together to say long E. Gur, E. Gree. And says gur, green. Green. Next word. Paint. Your turn. Pa. A. Nt. Paint. So this is an example of the long A that we learned a few weeks ago. P says pa. And remember, one of the vowel teams to spell long A is AI. So pa, A, pay, and T, nt, pa, A, nt, paint, paint. And last word, stay, your turn. Sta, A, stay. So this is another example of those vowel teams that spells the long A sound. When I say the word stay, you hear the letter A, which is the long sound. Let's squeeze it in over here. S-T, sta, sta. And just like the word day, which is a high frequency word, I think it's from kinder, maybe unit 1. It ends with the letters A-Y. That's the vowel team working together to say long A. All right. Let's blend. Sta, A, stay. So like I've said with some of these ending or beginning blends, you can sound them out letter by letter, like S-T, S-ta, A, S-ta, A. And you will probably put the word together in your head. Same with nt, pa, A, nta, pa, A, nta. You will probably put that together in your head. But, like I've said before, depending on how long the word is, sometimes it's a lot easier to see those two letters together and then just chunk them. You know, NT, nt. You know, ST, sta. And that will help you not get lost in the word. All right, let's do a sentence. High frequency word, the. PL, beginning blend, pa-ol. Chunk that together, pole. And our old friend A blank E that makes that long A sound. Can't forget about those ones. Always the blank E, the vowel blank E. Pull, A, play. And says, pull, A, plain, plain. So remember, when we have A blank E or I blank E or O blank E or U blank E, that E is silent. It doesn't make any sound. A blank E. Now, if I were to put an S at the end of this word, if I were to add the S, plains, plains, that would make it plural, where I mean more than one. The plain high frequency word can. FL, full. And Y. Now a way that we can spell long I. So full I, like the 5 card, you hear that I. Full I, fly. The plane can fly. H says, huh. And there's IGH. Those letters work together to say long I. Just like I blank E. Those letters work together to say long I. IE. Those letters work together to say I. IGH. If you see those 3 letters together, it's always I. Like I said, it will never ever be ha-igaha, ha-igaha. That's not a real word. It almost sounds like pig, but ha-igaha, not a word. Okay, high frequency word in. High frequency word the. SK, ska, ska. And another Y saying the long I sound. Ska, I, sky. All right, let's read our sentence. The plane can fly high in the sky. Your turn. Beautiful. So, of course, our sentence needs some punctuation. I think this sentence is just a telling sentence. So it gets a period You could, you might put an exclamation point, but that would mean that you're kind of surprised. So maybe when you were like a little kid, you were surprised that that plane can fly so high. Like, oh my God, look how high that plane is in the sky. That plane can fly so high. So in that case, you might put an exclamation point. If you're writing at home, it's a good idea to write it. And then, of course, when you say it, make sure that you are saying it with oomph. All right, nouns and verbs. So we know a noun is something that you can touch. So a plane, that is a thing, something that you can touch. Sky is also a thing or a place. It's not really something you can touch, but we know it's there, and that's where the plane is going, to the sky. That's where it's going. That's where it is. That's the place where it is. This sentence has a verb, of course. Every sentence has nouns, at least one noun, and at least one verb. So in this sentence, what is the plane doing? The plane is flying. So that is what the plane is doing. And we also have an adjective in our sentence that's going to describe, it's going to describe the verb, or it's going to describe what the noun is doing. High. So this word high is describing the noun. Or it's actually kind of an adverb which describes the verb. But it's also talking about where the plane goes, here's what the plane is doing. Where is it going? It's going to the sky. And how is it doing it? It's going high. All right. So, to read our sentence once more. The plane can fly high in the sky. Your turn. Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much for your focus and participation. Remember, you can go back, you can review this video. Definitely turn the sound off. And, at least practice the high frequency words, because that can really, really help you. We'll see you later.